Hello! Today we're going to find out what happens if you leave a set of darts in a rock tumbler for 24 hours. Let's get into it. So, here's one of the reasons why I want to try this. Number one, it's going to be quite cool, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Number two, this is my dart. This is the dart that I use every time I play tournaments, every time I play matches, yada yada yada. This is my dart that I normally use. This dart, however, is exactly the same as that dart. But I don't use this dart, I can't use this dart, and I don't like this dart. It's exactly the same, it is my own dart, it is the same weight, it's the same everything. But here's the difference. This one's been played with for 2 years, this one's brand new. This one, the grip feels a lot nicer. This one, I don't like the grip. So hopefully, a rock tumbler might be able to solve that issue. And if it doesn't, at least we get a little interesting experiment. Now, I've got no idea how to use a rock tumbler. I just bought one on Amazon, and we're going to put it together. We're going to chuck the dart in there. I might take the point out. I don't want to break the point. We're going to chuck a dart in there and see if at all it can end up looking like a worn dart. A dart that's been used for 2 years. Anyway, if you do like this video, leave a like on it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. We're on the road to 100k. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first, let's whip the point out of this dart. I'm not sure that the point is going to survive the entire duration, and I don't want it snapping in the barrel because then it's completely useless dart. So let's get the point out, let's get that sorted out, and then we'll go and chuck it into the rock tumbler. Okay, so I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to even use this thing. I've never used it before. It's actually from National Geographic. I bought it from Amazon, but it's like a National Geographic like version of it. So I don't know if that means it's like overly expensive or what, but fuck it. Let's find out. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully, it's really easy to use. I have looked at some instructions on the internet already, but I'm quite excited to see what this can do to a dart. We have another box. This is the National Geographic Rock Tumbler Hobby Edition. This is the Hobby Edition. I assume it will be fine for tumbling some darts though. I don't think we're going to have too many issues. But let's get it open. Let's see what's inside it. And let's see if we can just work it out, because I don't really want to use instructions. So if I can just work out what we're doing, that would be fantastic. Okay, we've got the instruction manual. Don't need that. We've got the stand where the rock tumbler sits. I assume this is the bit that gets plugged in. Okay, so we've got a little stand. That's going to be important. We have got, I think they've given us a key ring. We have a key ring. I think it's a, oh, it's a necklace. Okay, so it's a necklace that you can put like your precious stone in, or you can turn it into, or you can use that as a key ring. Okay, I'm not going to use that. We have got some rock tumbling stuff. I don't know what this is. This is like, this is foam. Is this gonna break things down? Is foam good enough to do that? I'm not sure. I might have to get some rocks actually, you know. Okay. Now we've got some precious rocks, which I don't need. Okay. Right, I think we need some actual rocks. So maybe we should go out into the garden. Oh, okay, ignore me. We have got stuff. We've got a set by set. We've got rock tumbler grit, we've got medium grit, we've got pre-polish, and we've got polish. So I think the idea is you put this in with some water, and it will just grit it for you. But I don't know if that's what I want to do. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll use the coarse one, because why not? I think this is like for polishing it at the end, really. But we need some stones. So let's go and get some rocks from the garden. Fortunately, the garden's pretty good for rocks. But let's go get some rocks and let's start and see what happens. Okay, I found some rocks outside. Hopefully that works. Let's put this grit in. How much of this do we need? I don't assume we need the whole sachet, do we? Let's put some of this in here. Oh, wow, that looks really fancy. Look at that. It's all like shiny. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, let's leave some of that in there. I think that'll do. I'll put that to one side. I think that'll do for now. And let's put the dart in as well. Okay, so the dart is going in. Let's put it right in the middle. I don't think it makes a difference. Right, and the lid. How did the lid go on? I don't remember. I think it went like this. Oh, we need some water. Right, let's put some water in as well. Let's see how that does. How much water do we need? Let's fill it halfway with water. I don't know why we need water, but we're going to use water. Okay, let's close that up properly, because I don't want this going everywhere. So that will be a nightmare. Is that on properly? I think it is. Then that goes on, and then that gets screwed on, and then we need to work out how we do the rest of this. Okay, does it spin? Does it spin? We have loads of modes. What do you reckon these modes mean? Mode 1. Okay. Ah, okay. The mode's actually days, and the instructions suggest that this could take a while. This might take more than a day. So I guess this goes on here like this. This gets turned on. Okay. Like that. On there. On. And we're tumbling. Right. Let's give it an hour. And we'll see how an hour does. But I've got a feeling this is going to be like more than an hour. Anyway, let's come back in an hour.
1 hour later.
Okay, so 1 hour has elapsed. I'm hoping I can get the dart out without having to take any of the stones out. I have got a sieve and a bowl just in case. But hopefully we can just see it and I can pull it out. We can see if there's any difference between the unused, untumbled dart and a tumbled dart. Okay, I found it. Is it any different though? And it's definitely got a bit of abrasion to it. It's definitely been working, but I think it's going to take a lot longer than 1 hour. So I'll show you guys like a side by side of like an untumbled dart and a tumbled dart. But I think this is going to take a lot longer than 1 hour. I'll probably leave it for like another 8 hours or so, or maybe another 7 hours. So we've done 8 hours in total. But it definitely looks different, but it's going to take a while.
8 hours later.
Right, that has been 8 hours in this rock tumbler. I've got no idea what I'm expecting to see, but it should be interesting. It is currently like, what's the time? It's currently 10:15 on New Year's Eve. So happy New Year, everyone. If you're watching this, I hope you had a lovely evening. This is what my evening has consisted of. We're going to go inside and do absolutely nothing, watch some TV and relax. But let's see what the dart looks like after 8 hours in a rock tumbler. Hopefully there's a bit of difference. It looks very different already. It's very gritty, to be honest. Right, just need to find the dart. Hopefully I can find it without any... Look at that. Disgusting. Without any difficulty. But this is 8 hours. The rocks, some of the rocks are like missing chunks, and they're definitely a lot smoother. I just need to find the dart without... I really don't want to empty this out. Okay, the dart has been found. We're going to give it a rinse. And the difference is... It's more. It's definitely a lot more. Let's see if we can like compare the two together. But I have a feeling we might be going 24 hours. So there's still a little bit more wear to do, but it's starting to look very different. Okay, so we have the original dart, which is like the unused one. We have the rock tumbled one, and we have the worn one. Let's see if there's much difference. It's definitely more worn than that one. So let's get rid of that. And these two, I mean, it's hard to see with the colours rings still on, but it definitely seems a little bit different. But I guess the only real way to tell is how it feels. So if I feel what this feels like, my normal dart, it's grippy, but the edges are a bit smoother. This is almost getting there. It feels better. Yeah, it feels a lot better than the brand new dart, but we're not quite there yet. I think 24 hours, this could work. 24 hours, this could work. So I'm going to put this back in, I'm going to go to bed, and then it's going to be like 2, 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We'll get it out, we'll see how it looks, And yeah, we'll see how that goes from there.
Right, boys and girls, we have got a long day of streaming ahead of us, but Happy New Year. Hope you all had a lovely New Year's Eve. Once I get this door on the thing, we have got a 24-hour long rock tumble to open. So let's go and have a look. Well, it's still going, which is good. Let's get these lights on. Okay, the rock tumbler is still going. Let's get it open. Let's see what is going on in the rock tumbler.
Okay, so we have got the unrock tumbled version of my Dart. We've got the used version of my Dart for about 2 years. And this has now been spinning and tumbling for 24 hours in total. So let's see if it resembles a rock tumbled Dart at all. I'm not really sure what to expect. The hardest bit about this whole process is like getting the Dart out of the slurry. It's a bit of a mess in there. But let's see how it goes. Hopefully we have some progress. Otherwise this is a bit of a waste of time. But we will see. Right, that's off. Get this next bit off. Oh, that is definitely a bit more of a slurry than it was the last time. I guess that's good news. I don't really want to get anything too dirty. Put that there. Now we need to find the Dart. Now we need to find the actual Dart. It looks, I mean, it looks a lot more. I don't really know what the technical term is. Looks a bit more tumbled. I don't really know. Let's find this Dart and let's. Is that it? No, that's a stone. Okay, I'm just trying to dry it off a little bit. It looks very different to how it did originally. Let's have a look at the side-by-sides that we have done before. It's not completely dry. I'll also weigh them as well. I think weighing them is going to be a big difference. And also it doesn't help really that the paint is still in the middle one. It's still in the tumbled one, whereas I don't use paint on my normal darts, but hopefully it'll be able to see the difference. So let's have a look. See if we can see the difference between the use or anything like that. So the left one is the brand new one, the middle one is the tumbled one, and the right one is the one that I use. So this is definitely worn. It's definitely worn down a bit. You can see a load of wear marks on it, on the grooves and stuff. Let's have a look. Let's do a field test, because I feel like the field test is going to be really important, because it's more about how the darts feel. So my normal dart feels like my normal dart. A brand new dart feels a lot. It feels almost, the edges are closer together, so it almost feels like there's less grip. I feel like there's less on this type of barrel, on this type of dart. It's like there's less grip than there is on the worn dart, and this one. It does. It feels more like a worn dart. It definitely does feel like feels more like a worn dart. Now I don't know what this would happen if you had any coatings on the darts, because my logo has completely gone. I do actually need to repoint this dart and put a new point in it, because I've started to use longer points. So I do actually need to repoint this dart. So I'm going to pull this point out and I'm going to weigh them. I'm going to see if this one has lost significant weight or not. It's difficult to say when one's got a point in it. It almost feels like it's lighter, but I don't know. I don't think I can detect 0.1 grams. So it could just be me thinking it is. But it feels a lot better. 24 hours in a rock tumbler has made it feel worn down. The only downside, I think, is it's made the barrel almost darker. It needs to go round in like a polished. It needs to go round in like a different grit at the ends, just like polish it up or something, I think. But it's definitely worn. It definitely feels more worn, and it feels more like my worn dart, and that was 24 hours. So let me get this all sorted. Let me get this point out, and we'll weigh them, and we'll see what the difference is. Let's just see what the dart weighs. I mean, it's supposed to be a 22-gram dart. The point is longer than the point that originally come in it, so I don't know what weight we're going to get out of this for a 2-year used. Yeah, so it's 22.1 grams, which I would imagine is only because the point's bigger than what I used to use, or what came in the dart. So they are slightly heavier, even after 2 years use, than the dart was when it arrived to me. But that is because I'm using a point that is longer than how the darts arrived. So the weight actually isn't much difference. I can't imagine that there's been much weight loss in a dart. I used to have a set of darts. I used to throw Unicorn Adrian Lewis darts when I was about 13, and I kept them. I got them when I was 13, and I kept them and I used them all the way up to like sort of 21, 22 years old. And I used the same dart for such a long time, and I had someone weigh my darts after like 9 years or so of using the dart, and it was 20 grams. It had dropped 2 grams in like nearly 10 years. But anyway, how much does this barrel weigh without a point in it? Let's find out. Without a point in it, it is 21.15 grams. And then this one, now this one it's not going to be completely dry. It's not going to be perfectly dry, but it's not far off. Let's see what this weighs. So this should weigh a similar amount, maybe a little bit more. Let's find out. 21.06 grams. So this is actually 0.0 grams lighter. So it has lost, and there's a little bit of moisture in there as well. I mean, a couple of 0.00 grams or whatever, or 0.0 grams. It has lost weight. So this is actually lighter than my worn dart, which makes me think that this is actually more worn than my 2-year worn dart. So 24 hours in a rock tumbler has made a bit of a difference, and they feel very similar. They feel a lot more similar than the original dart and the worn dart. But yeah, that is interesting. If you guys want to see me put anything else in a rock tumbler, if you want to see me put flights, stems, like molded flights, anything like that in a rock tumbler for 24 hours, let me know and I'll do it and we'll see what happens. Anyway guys, thanks for watching the video, and I will see you lot whenever the next video goes up. I'm going to try and make loads of videos this year, so hopefully you do enjoy the videos, but that's interesting. Anyway, I'll see you later. Goodbye.